Greetings and welcome to another episode of Wild Mouse. I am your host, Taylor Bartle, and today I am joined by the producer of the official podcast of the Seattle Kraken, Signals from the Deep. Please welcome to the show, Grant Beery.
Taylor, thank you for having me. I've been looking forward to doing this for a little while.
Yeah, this is our third attempt. You got sick last time, and
yeah.
You were like, I'm loaded up on Sudafed. I'm good to go. And I'm like, dude, it's okay.
It sounded like a frog. I actually, we recorded an episode for Signals here a few days ago, and I was still, my throat was still shot. And I spoke very little, but if you listen to that episode, you can kind of hear my super froggy voice.
So, I mean, just before we get into things, how did you get hooked up with the Kraken?
I'm going to say it's a little bit of luck. So I'm originally from Denver, Colorado, which is why we're going to be talking about a Denver theme park today. But met a girl out here in Seattle and moved out here after a little while, and just randomly applied for an IT job with the team. Really not thinking I was ever going to hear back. I mean, I'm working for a sports team. That's kind of everybody's dream, especially, growing up a hockey fan like me, and ended up becoming their service desk manager. So run kind of all the day-to-day IT operations for the team, but that includes producing the podcast. That's one of those like other duties as assigned that you hear about on people's job descriptions. So and it's just been my fourth year now, and it's been quite a wild ride. I really love it.
That's a pretty cool other task.
Yes, exactly. I've done a little PA as well. So filled in for our PA announcer at the arena. So trying to get my voice out there any way I can.
I still have yet to be at a game where you do the PA, but hopefully one day.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, it's been twice now that I've done it, and hopefully I've done a good enough job that they ask me back again. So
hopefully, yeah. So as you said, we're talking about a Denver theme park today, nestled gently in the Rocky Mountains, is a little park called Elitch Gardens.
That's right.
Theme and water park. Originally opened in 1890, but good luck finding anything about the first 30 or so years of this park.
Yeah, I mean, it was originally like a botanic garden and a zoo, and that's about all you're going to hear about it from back in the day. So,
yeah, like if you go to Wikipedia, it says, opened in 1890, and then it says history, 1994 to 1995 is the first thing.
Yeah, and I think the only real fun fact I can find is P.T. Barnum was one of the original guests. They had an old theater back in the day. The original owner really wanted to have theater and acts and music there. So, like Douglas Fairbanks, Cecil B. DeMille, Grace Kelly had performed there over the years. So, I mean, there's some things that were not necessarily like theme park, adjacent in its early days.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. The original owner was the Gertler family.
So if it was originally the Elitch family, the Gertlers bought it from them. After that, I would say the Gertlers really, they became the owners in '94 after the park had moved. So, in its original, they were kind of north of Denver in their original heyday, and that was, I think 1890 to 1994. So a really good chunk of their time they were in one area, but with the city growing around them, they really couldn't expand anywhere. And that's when the city of Denver was like, hey, we got a little spot for you downtown that you can move to. That was in 94, 95. It happens to be an old Superfund site that they moved on to. So, right in the old floodplain where there was landfills and everything like that. But that's where we put our amusement park. So,
okay, wait, what is Superfund a thing?
Yeah, so that's like where the federal government decides, this area is like super contaminated and it's going to need the government to come in and help clean it up and things like that. So there's quite a few of them around the country. So if you're ever curious about kind of the messed up ways we've screwed up the land in the United States, just look up Superfund site on Google.
Are you saying super fun?
Superfund, SUPEFUND. Yes, it is not super fun.
I was gonna say, like, what a misnomer. Like,
yeah. And I believe that I'm trying to remember what caused it to be known as a Superfund site, like what they exactly screwed up there. But that's a deep Google dive for a different day, I think.
Yeah, I thought you were saying like another theme park or something called Superfun.
No, like there's actually, the EPA will say like, oh, this place is super hazardous. We need to come in and clean it up. Like usually it's like like nuclear waste or things like that. Wow. So yeah, exactly. Or toxic chemicals spilled somewhere. Those kind of things. So.
And that's where Elitch Gardens is located.
Yeah, I mean they cleaned it up beforehand.
So yeah, as you said, previously known as Elitch Zoological Gardens from 1890 to 1900, then Elitch Gardens from 1900 to 1998. And we're going to start our journey in 1994 when the Gertler family, as you said, they purchased it and they moved it to a 67.7 acre plot of land in the Platte River Valley. Is that, am I saying that right?
That is right, yep.
For $6.1 million.
Exactly. It's a pittance compared to these days when people are paying for stuff like that. So,
like, you can't build a ride for $6.1 million.
Right. I imagine any of the newer roller coasters being built, they're probably double that, maybe more.
Yeah, at least.
Right.
They did spend $90 million relocating some of the rides from the original park, as well as construction of the new park. The money was a mix of public and private dollars, of course.
I think they moved most of the rides. I think it was like 11 out of 15 rides that they had. They only had 15 rides back in the day. It was a very quaint little park. And one of the rides that they did not move, which I was very sad about, was called the Mine Shaft. And that was one that I really loved when I was a kid, where basically it's a big spinning tube and you put your back to the wall. And then as it gets spinning, fast enough, and you're not strapped down or anything like that, the floor drops out and it's just a centripetal force that's keeping you kind of on the wall. Terrifying. And one of my favorite rides when I was a kid, but they decided maybe not so safe for the new park.
So it's like a Gravitron.
Basically, yeah. So they called it the Mine Shaft because you got to have your Colorado Gold Rush kind of theming throughout it. So, yeah.
So in October of 1996, the Gertler families sold the park. So they only owned it for 2 years.
That's right.
They turned around and sold it for $65 million.
What a profit. I love that.
Although they did sink $90 million into it. So it's kind of a loss, actually.
Well, I kind of wonder how much of that $90 million is the city ponied up. I wonder. So, who knows? But hopefully they made out okay, because 65 is still on their original investment not bad. So
yeah. So it looks like some notable rides when they first opened at the new location was the carousel. Got to have a carousel.
Same carousel since 1928 when it was originally put in the old park, and they're still using it today.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Sidewinder roller coaster.
That's still there. Yep. Just one big giant loop. It's I actually am so deathly afraid of heights I won't ride that ride.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's a to get up to it is just a giant staircase, and so you're climbing stairs for like 10 minutes to get to the top of this ride, it feels like. And that part is just, it's too much for me. I can't do it.
So does it go like once and then go backwards?
Exactly. So it goes once around and then it goes back the other way. So you're doing it front ways and back. So it's a little harrowing. So,
it's like Montezuma's Revenge at Knott's Berry Farm. I don't know if you're
exactly. I am with that one. Yep.
And then it says a new version of the Mr. Twister called the Twister 2.
Yeah, so that's their wood coaster. So Mr. Twister was at the old park, and when they looked into moving it, they're like, it's in too bad a shape. It would be too expensive to move it. So they basically just rebuilt the damn thing at the new park, and they changed it enough. Like they kind of made it a little more kind of modern and updated for the new century. And with that, they changed the name. And then they have since, I believe it was 2 years ago, they did renovations on it, and now it's called Twister 3. So we're on our third generation of this one wooden roller coaster.
Yes, I am seeing that now in 2023. You're right. So it was renamed Twister 3 Storm Chaser.
Which is just a ridiculous name. It's so silly. I mean, I don't know why we needed to add that because it's a roller coaster.
And it's just a big wooden roller coaster. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even see any real twists.
No, I mean it's a lot of fun. I will say, but like I've been on other wood roller coasters around the country, and it's not nearly as harrowing as others around the country, but still fun. I would definitely say it's worth a ride if you go there.
It does look like it's pretty big.
It's huge. I thought I knew what the so the hill is 100 feet tall, and how long? It's 4,600 feet long, so it's a long coaster. I think that's longer than the old one, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a 91-foot drop, top speed of 55 miles per hour.
Yeah, not too bad. All right, well, I take it back. Maybe this is as good as some of the other ones around there. That might be a lot of what they updated in 2023. So
yeah. I like the motto, which is built wilder the second time around.
I don't know who came up with that. Marketing genius somewhere. So
yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so in 1996, the Gertlers sold it to Premier Parks. I assume this must be like a conglomerate,
basically,
company.
Yeah. So Premier Parks owned it for quite a while. But Premier Parks, maybe some of your listeners know them because they're the ones who bought Six Flags, and actually ran Six Flags for quite a while. So Elitch Gardens became a Six Flags park for 4 years. It wasn't very long.
Looks like 7 years.
Okay, I was close.
I only know because I got the numbers in front of me. I've never been
there. There you go. And that was during that era when they were Six Flags was when I worked there. And I was 14, and you could get a work permit when you were 14 in Denver. And they had me run the cash register at this. There's a store kind of right in the front gazebo of the place, and it was a Looney Tunes themed store, which means nice. I had to watch Looney Tunes all day. Every day for an entire summer. It was mind numbing. It was the same cartoons over and over again. And to this day, I don't enjoy Looney Tunes because of it. That job was, I will say I did not enjoy working at a theme park. It was not the most fun job. I mean, think about it like high school, but you had to be there and you got paid. So, I ended up getting fired from that job. So, but whatever, it's fine. Those were my teenage years.
Well, yeah, working in a theme park is not, like it's not that exciting when you're working in the gift shop.
Yeah, well, and it's like you think like it's going to be really glamorous and everything. Like, oh, like I love going to the theme park. Like, what could be better than going every day? And you get disabused of that notion pretty quickly after about the first week or so, because you really see how the sausage is made, and it's not as thrilling as you think.
Would you like get off work and go ride some rides, or?
Oh no, I'd go home as quickly as I could. So I'd get on the bus and get out of there. So I mean, you think about like all the things that are kind of overwhelming, like at the end of the day, like when you're at like a fair or think about, I think it's time to go home now. Yeah, that's just every day, constantly. I mean, you get done with it within like hour 2 of being there. So, and I got real tired of fair food after a while because that's pretty much all you have to eat. But you got a free meal every day, which was great. They give you a free meal every day that you work there. So
that's not bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
Okay, so yeah, Premier buys the park in 1996. New additions were rushed in for the 1997 season. Most notable is the third roller coaster, Mind Eraser.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a suspended looping coaster created by Vekoma Rides Manufacturing, which sounds, I don't know.
I don't think I've ever heard of them. So I love this roller coaster.
The Netherlands. Okay. I was going to say it sounded Scandinavian.
Okay. There you go. As far as I know, it's still there today. I every time I go there, it's one of the first things I want to ride. It always has a big long line. Super fun coaster. It's very short. It's a short ride in my opinion. Not like some of the other ones at like some of the bigger Six Flags or anything like that, but still worth a ride. I like it.
What is your favorite ride there?
Oh, that's a great question. Let me think about that. I would say Mind Eraser is pretty high on that list. There is, now you're going to make me look at a list so I can kind of jog my memory. I do really love the old the old why am I blanking out? The old carousel. I love the old carousel. Really, it's just super quaint and fun. I will always ride that. They have a kind of like a drop ride, it's called the Tower of Doom. The
like an extreme scream kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly, just like that. I was trying to think of the name of one of the other ones. I like that one, nice and quick, but a lot of fun. It's a really good way to see kind of a good view of Denver. Denver's a pretty flat city, so you don't have to worry about a lot getting in the way of your view when you get up that high. So you can see a really good view of Denver right before you get dropped. They used to have an observation tower at this amusement park, but they've since closed it. It's still there, you just can't use it. So I don't know why they didn't just tear it down. So yeah, I gotta say Mind Race was probably the best coaster there, probably the best ride there. And then the carousel, just because it's so quaint and nostalgic. So I'm a sucker for that.
I have never been on a suspended coaster, if you can believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're in for a treat.
It's not any real reason. Like, I'm not avoiding it. I guess I just haven't been to a park that had one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like where I last went on another one because the one in Vegas I went on recently, but that's not a suspended one. Is it Arlington Six Flags that has the one where you lay down? It's like the Superman ride.
I know it's a Six Flags, but I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, I think that might be
exactly
Arlington.
Which ride you're talking about, though.
That is probably my that one's terrifying, but it's one of my favorite ways to ride a coaster. But yeah, the suspended coasters are a heck of a lot of fun because your feet are just kind of dangling there. It's a trip.
Going upside down in one of those just seems like a bad idea.
It's very easy to lose stuff out of your pockets on them. Though.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's not like the cars where sometimes the stuff gets caught, but no, if you have anything in your pocket, it's gone.
They are building one at Disney World. There's there's a new Monsters Inc. ride going in. It's the Door Factory. There's going to be a ride made of that, and it's a suspended coaster.
Oh, what a clever idea! I will I will admit this to you. I've never been to a Disney park, so. That's none of them, not a single one. So we weren't a big Disney family growing up, and I don't know. My wife has never expressed any interest in going. My co-hosts on Signals from the Deep, they're both really big Disney park fans, and spent the All-Star break this year both going to Disneyland and Disney World. And so I got to hear all about their exploits over there, and they're clamoring to get me to one of those parks, and it just it hasn't happened yet. But I think I'm going to need to do it. So,
yeah, I mean, I went as a kid, and then I think the last time I went before recently, I was 16, maybe something like that.
Oh, okay.
And then for whatever reason, me and my buddy got a wild hair up our asses, and we were like, "Let's go to the Disneyland Halloween party. That'll be a fun." You know what it was? Is he was having a kid, and so he was like, "I need to have a boys' trip.
Got to do it now." Yeah, I love that. Yeah. That's great.
And so we decided to go to the Disneyland Halloween party, and I got hooked. And I've been like 5 times since. I'm going in a week and a half.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I would you recommend I go world or land first, or does it matter?
So I am big partial to land.
Okay.
For a multitude of reasons. Proximity is a big one.
I was going to say, it's a much shorter flight for me, so that's great.
Yeah, but also like Disneyland and California Adventure are right next to each other. They're just across a plaza.
And California Adventure is a different theme park?
Yeah, it's the Disneyland extension, basically.
Oh, okay. Man, I'm learning a lot. Let's see.
Disney World has like 5 parks, and there's like miles between them. You have to take a bus or a monorail or a train or a sky cart.
And Epcot is a part of that, right? Because I know Piper, my co-host, was talking a lot about Epcot.
Yeah, Epcot is one of the lands in Disney World. Epcot does have the Guardians of the Galaxy, not Mission Breakout, that's the one in California, Cosmic Rewind.
Oh, so
that ride is amazing.
All right. So I'll mark that as something to ride. Very cool. All right.
Also, if you want to give Piper and JT my email, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know that Piper's got her own Disney podcast, so she's a podcasting pro. So I'm giving her shout outs here. I know she's told me the name of it, and I feel like a fool for not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look it up right now. Talk amongst yourself while I look this up. So
if only we had the entire information on Superhighway at our fingertips.
But yeah, so go to Disneyland. That'll be a short flight, and then is there kind of a best ride in like California Adventure Disneyland that you would recommend?
I love the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Okay.
It's it used to be Tower of Terror, and they rethemed it to be Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's kind of like Extreme Scream, or what'd you say the Elitch Garden one is? Tower of Doom?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that, but it's contained. It's indoors.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. Incredicoaster is the only one that goes upside down, so that's a good one.
Okay. The only one that goes upside down. I figured there'd be a lot more.
Surprisingly, there's a lot more in Disneyland Paris.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a Paris one. I know there's a Tokyo one. There's a lot of Disney parks.
There's Shanghai.
Okay.
There's two in China. There's Shanghai, and then there's Disney Sea, which I don't remember where in China that one's located.
Okay, so Piper's podcast is called Where the Magic Happens, which is a great name for a Disney podcast. So
there you go. Check that out after you're done with this.
Yes, shameless plug for my fellow co-host there. So, and obviously, Seattle Kraken fans will know Piper Shaw from the Kraken broadcast. So she's the in-game host. So, all right.
Okay, so in addition to the Mind Eraser, the next big addition was the Tower of Doom, a free fall ride, like you said, that is 220 feet tall.
Yeah, it's quite a nice view. It's the first ride that I've ever saw when my dad went on it. He's a pretty mild mannered, good natured guy. One of the first times I've ever heard him swear was when he went on that ride. He just couldn't help himself, sitting right next to me, and it kind of, I felt like I was growing up a little bit and kind of retaining some core memories, seeing my dad just kind of completely turn into a child on that ride. It was great.
What did he say?
You know what? Just for his sake, I won't repeat it. I don't want to have an opinion of my father.
Let's see. Also added was the park's 700-seat Trocadero Theater, named after the famous ballroom and dance hall at the original park.
Yeah, so they basically rebuilt it, and now they use it for certain shows throughout the year, and you can rent it out too. So if you want to have a big party there, you can do that. So,
real quick, I want to go back a second or a couple minutes when you said that Denver is very flat.
Yes,
it's the home of the Rocky Mountains, man.
The Rocky Mountains are directly to the west of Denver, and then so if you kind of look at a map of Colorado, you get a big rectangle, and there's this very thin strip of mountains on the west side of it, and then right at the foot of those mountains on the east side is Denver, and then the start of Kansas, is what I like to call it, because it's just incredibly flat for everything east of that. So it's kind of a little bit of a secret about how flat Denver is. Like if you're not from Colorado, you don't realize it, where most of the snow and bad weather happens in the mountains, and we're kind of shielded from it. And so Denver is actually really sunny most of the year, like I think over 300 days of sunshine a year. It really doesn't snow that often during the winter. You get maybe 4 or 5 bad snowstorms during the winter, and then it actually snows later in the year. They're probably getting quite a bit of snow now here in March, and it's unless you're skiing, you're not going to see a ton of crappy weather. So, but I feel like I've done my fellow Denver natives dirty by kind of letting that little secret out there, because now everybody's going to want to move there.
That John Denver's full of shit, man.
Exactly. So,
so during the premiere era, the park was also it had like a code name, I guess, The Great Escape.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, so when the park was originally sold, when the Elitches originally sold the park, there was a stipulation in the sale that they couldn't ever change the name. It had to be called Elitch Gardens, throughout. That's pretty much been honored since, throughout each owner. I don't know if it's still enforceable, since it's no longer the 1800s, but pretty much everybody's kept the name, and I think that is kind of one of those things where you don't want, the people who've lived in Denver for decades to kind of, revolt against you for changing the name. So they've added little kind of taglines and things here and there, but it's always been Elitch Gardens. So you had, Premier came in and called it Elitch Gardens The Great Escape. You had Six Flags Elitch Gardens, and now it's just back to Elitch Gardens. The owner now is actually the same owner as the Colorado Avalanche, the Los Angeles Rams, Arsenal, Stan Kroenke, who because
everyone in Denver just loves.
Oh, he's an absolute saint. Everybody loves him. Sure, yeah,
national treasure.
People in LA don't like him. People in St. Louis certainly don't like him. But he owns all that land around the park, and it's mostly parking lots now. It's going to be redeveloped, but there's also Ball Arena where the Nuggets and the Avalanche play. So, but he didn't change the name; he bought it either. So.
Yeah, I have driven by Elitch Gardens. I've never been there, but I've been to Ball Arena, and so I've seen it.
It's literally right there. I mean, it's across the light rail tracks, so it's about as close to a theme park as you can build an arena. So.
So like you said, Six Flags buys it in 1999. They purchased they purchased all Six Flags from Time Warner, which explains the whole Warner Brothers thing there. Let's see. So in 1999, they rebranded as Six Flags Elitch Gardens. The most notable addition was Boomerang Coast to Coaster.
Yes, still there. It's another one that kind of goes back and forth. It has a few more loops in it. It's a pretty fun ride. Another one that's really short, though.
What's with the short rides?
I know. I think they just want to get people in and out as fast as possible. Maybe that's what it is. But we kind of like the Sidewinder. You basically get to ride it, twice. So maybe that helps out.
Oh, well, yeah. Let's see. Various Warner Brothers properties, including the Looney Tunes and DC Comics franchises, were also introduced, much to the chagrin of Grant.
Every day, the same cartoons. A fun fact: we actually got in trouble one day because we played Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory over the TVs because we're like, wow, it's Warner, like we're not going to get in trouble, and we got in so much trouble for that. So
really,
back to Looney Tunes. Yeah, they're like, yeah, we're not cleared for it. Legal said we can't do it. So it was the one kind of day of protest on our part, and we definitely got our hands slapped for it.
So it says between 1999 and 2001, the Looney Tunes Movie Town area was added. What is that?
That is kind of the kids park.
Okay.
The kids playland, as you want to call it. So it's been various things over the years, but yeah, kiddie coaster here and there. Nothing of any kind of note for anybody over 6 years old.
Okay, so it's like Toontown without the good rides.
Yeah, and they also had a stage for like stage shows, which I think they, if I recall correctly, they had like a kids version of that, but then they also had one that did like a Batman stage show for a little while. That didn't last very long, but it had a ton of pyrotechnics, and you had kind of a I couldn't even remember what the story is. So, but kind of a 10-15 minute show with all the stunts and everything like that.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was nice. It didn't last very long, sadly.
In 2002, they added another suspended roller coaster, originally called Flying Coaster. It appears to now be called Soarin' Eagle.
Yeah, I would say this one is fine. Probably not worth the ride if you go there. If you see a long line on it, definitely worth skipping.
Oh, this page is for Luna Park, Brooklyn. This is not the right Soarin' Eagle.
I know which one you're talking about, though. I think it is. Let me see what that was called. Now you got me wondering. So, that coaster may not be there anymore.
Yeah, I don't see it on their website.
We can cut this.
Oh, wait, if I had just kept reading, it was a prototype model and suffered from numerous operational glitches. It ceased operation in 2008 and was sold to Luna Park in Coney Island in 2010.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, it didn't last very long and it wasn't very fun. So
I have ridden the Cyclone in Coney Island, and that is a terrifying roller coaster. Not because of anything that it does, but because it feels like it's going to fall apart at any minute.
yeah, and it really jerks you around. I went on a work trip out to New York and made sure that I went and rode the Cyclone. It was pouring rain, and then it just happened to break for about, I don't know, an hour. I'm like, cool, let's get on. There's nobody here. We can get on the Cyclone real quick. It'd be a lot of fun. It actually was pretty great. But that coaster, I mean, how old is that coaster? It's got to be 20s, right?
It's like forever years old.
Yeah, and you can feel it the whole time you're riding it. There's no cushioning or anything like that.
No, it's like, Wild Mouse coasters, but usually they'll go around a corner and it's like, oh, you're going to feel like you're going to fall over. But like this one legitimately feels like the cart's just going to fly right off the track.
Yeah. There's a bit of a tangent. There's another theme park in Denver that's pretty near where old Elitch Garden was. It's called Lakeside Theme Park. It's old, and it's I wouldn't say it's been modernized or updated in any way. It has a roller coaster called the Wild Chipmunk. That's a wooden roller coaster, and it is kind of that same level of terrifying. You're like, I don't know how this thing is even still standing anymore. So if you're in Denver and you want to visit two theme parks that are pretty close to each other, but keep in mind Lakeside is not by any means something that's been kept up, modernized. You go surely for the nostalgia of like, wow, I can't believe they used to make theme parks this way.
And to answer your question, the Cyclone was built in 1927.
I was so close.
So in 2004, they installed the Half Pipe coaster, which apparently is only one of 3 operating in the United States.
And I think Elitch Gardens had the first one. It's a pretty neat little kind of concept where you're spinning 360 while going in a half pipe. Really easy to get kind of vertigo and feel ill on that coaster.
I can imagine. Yeah, I rode the RC Racer ride in Disneyland Paris, and it just goes up and down. Like you don't spin.
Oh yeah, so imagine just kind of whirling around the entire time that's going. So
yeah, I could see that making someone vomit.
I once, and I was like, yeah, that's enough for me. I don't want to do that again. I get a little seasick pretty quickly. So
in 2005, Six Flags was obtained by Dan Snyder, another one of America's sweethearts.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, former owner of the Washington Commanders, who refused to change the name for the longest time.
Right.
The park in 2016. CEO Mark Shapiro announced that the company would sell off 6 of its properties, including Elitch Gardens.
Yeah, and then I think there was kind of like some holding companies that had it for a little while. Not much happened during those times. It kind of was in stasis while they were just trying to kind of figure out what to do with it. So,
yeah, it was sold to Park Management, PARC. Who sold them to CNL Lifestyle Properties. Again, these are just kind of like you said, holding companies.
Yeah, investment firms, right?
Yeah, they immediately removed all Looney Tunes and DC Comics branding and Six Flags names and marketing and all that, and just switched back to Elitch Gardens. When did the water park part of it open?
I want to say that was early 2000s, if I recall correctly.
Okay, I keep seeing stuff about new slides being added, but I didn't see anything about when it actually opened.
Yeah, it's man, that's a great question. Let me see if I can find that for you. It's so I said early 2000s is late 90s, so that opened in 97 is when that opened. It's It's a great little water park. It's definitely not the biggest in Denver, but there's one called Water World that's kind of more, more loved by the locals here. But Island Kingdom is pretty great. They got some really good water slides. They got the big tide pool. It's definitely super crowded most days that you're there. So
now is just the water park seasonal, or is the whole park seasonal?
The whole park is seasonal. It gets pretty darn cold in Denver for long enough stretches that they're like, yeah, we're just not gonna. I think it's between Labor Day and no, because it goes later because they do stuff for Halloween in October. They just kind of limit their hours for a little while. So I think it's from basically October to, I want to say April or so, they start opening again. And the theme park and the water park is one ticket, so you don't have to pay for both. You pay for one and you get both. So yeah, it's a nice little perk there. And obviously season passes are the way to go if you're a local and you're going to visit more than twice. So
just twice and it pays for itself?
Pretty much. That's how it was when I was a kid. So, I mean, it was $50 for a season pass. I wonder what it is now. Yeah, it was great. So, I should look this up actually. Let's see. It's $95. So it's only gone up a little bit. Sorry, $70 now if you buy it early. So, but then it's, you can get a $95 one that comes with more stuff. So it's still a relatively great deal. So I think a daily ticket is, you're looking at, they're not even selling daily tickets right now.
Soon,
yeah, they won't even tell me what it is. But if I remember correctly, you're paying like $30 to get in for the day. Don't quote me on that. It could be more expensive, less expensive. Don't plan your trip around that. But it's definitely like, we remembered like getting a season pass was well worth it if you were going more than 2 times. So most locals will get that, especially if they have a family. So we got a free season pass if we were working there. So that was always very nice. Not that you wanted to go on your days off very often.
Right. So in 2008, they installed Ghost Blasters, a dark mansion haunted with ghosts. So, but if you're just thinking it's Haunted Mansion, apparently using light guns, you have the opportunity to extinguish the ghosts while competing against one another as digital counters keep track of the scores. So it's Haunted Mansion meets Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters. I know these references mean nothing to you, but...
Oh no, Piper and JT have really schooled me on what is at the Disney parks. I actually have ridden this. It's actually pretty fun. I mean, obviously meant for kids, but I think if you go with a little one, you'll have quite a bit of fun. So definitely worth it. I think they really kind of make it a big thing during the Halloween season when you go there.
I'm sure. Yeah. Do you know any tricks? Any little tips to get the highest scores? Or
be a good shot. I am such a bad shot. I've got real thick Coke bottle glasses, so I'm not the one to be getting tips from. Yeah, I'm not the guy you want to get tips from. So
I know I always love when people talk about Astro Blasters and they're like, "Oh, you got to find this one specific spot and that's worth the most points and just blast that." And I'm like,
right.
I don't know what I'm aiming at.
I'm lucky if I can read the signs in there. Like this is. We're going to get through it, and I'll just be happy if I don't hurt somebody on the way through.
Exactly. I shot myself in the eye.
Yeah, knowing me, I'd figure out a way to do it. So,
let's see. Alongside new rides in 2008, they started hosting live entertainment shows, including Raven Simone, Metro Station.
They've had some big. I say big names. They've had big names.
They've had some names.
Yeah, I would say I'm trying to think who Raven Simone is probably the biggest one that I remember being there. But they had like some funny name for it, like the concert series in the park and things like that. A lot of local acts. You'll definitely see a lot of kind of local bands trying to find some kind of crowd at Elitch Gardens when they do those. So fun stuff there.
Looks like they also had some live entertainment shows such as Survivor Live.
Yeah. Yes. I forgot that they've done that. Yeah. So they did that one. I want to say they did like some laser light ones too and things like that. So
I see Rock Nation Don't Stop Believin', Bob the Builder Live, Let's Recycle.
Oh yeah. Gotta have something for the kids, right? That sounds great.
120 Rockin' Years at Elitch's.
Oh, cute.
Laser Rocks. That's probably the one you're thinking.
Yeah, that's probably the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. So,
and then during October, it has haunted houses and a trick or treat trail.
Yeah, so I was telling you, like, they stay open during the October months, and they do what's called Fright Fest. I want to say it's at least a couple days out of the week. And basically the whole thing is like, you've got haunted houses here and there. You've got stuff for kids to do, like trick-or-treating, and really it just becomes like a big Halloween-themed park. It's a lot of fun.
So how do they do the haunted houses? Do they, like, convert other rides, or is it just...
Yeah, so they do a couple things like that, but they also have this big space in the water park area, because the water park's not open after Labor Day. So they'll use that area and basically use one of the bigger, I guess you could call it a warehouse, but kind of one of the bigger spaces they have for like when they do like events and things like that. They'll turn that into a haunted house, and I believe that one's a nominal extra fee when you get in there, but it's pretty scary and it's a lot of fun, and it's probably one of the better ones in Denver during the Halloween season.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard lots of good things about Six Flags Fright Fest. I've never been. I've been to, like I said, I've been to Disneyland's, and I've been to Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios, but I've never been to a Fright Fest.
Yeah, it's funny that they kept it on after, divesting from Six Flags, because it was a thing they brought in when Six Flags owned the parks, and then when Six Flags divested off, they took the name Fright Fest and then removed the space in between the words Fright and Fest, I think, to avoid getting sued. But that's what they've called it ever since.
All right,
whatever works.
I feel like there's like so many Fright Fests. There's
yeah.
Every small little park has a Fright Fest.
It's probably a hard thing to really enforce your copyright on.
Yeah. So in 2011, in 2010, CNL terminated their agreements with park management and named Hershend Family Entertainment as the new operators of the park.
Yeah, they when they were around, I want to say that was the era when they started really focusing on the water park. If I recall correctly, that's when they brought in I want to say it was a new water slide.
Tube Top?
That sounds right. Yeah, sure. I believe you. You've probably got the Wikipedia article open. So
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so and then they really started to focus on that area. So they started kind of figuring out where the where the flaws were there, and I don't think they owned it or they operated it for very long, did they?
They did not. Looks like 3 years. The fact that they have a slide called Tube Top is pretty damn hilarious.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that one is. Let me see if I can look it up and jog my memory.
It's apparently a tantrum water slide. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I've as I've been kind of looking over this, I'm like, wow, they have a lot of like classifications for a lot of these rides, which is very funny to me. Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's the big purple and yellow one.
Is it like a tube one?
It's a big, giant tube, and it's really, really twisty and turny. And you're on rafts on that one. I think it's 4 to a raft. But it's got a, I guess you can call it a loop in the middle, because it actually kind of, it almost looks like there's like a big like bubble in the middle of it, and so as you're spinning down it kind of like spins you around in the middle of it and then spits you out, so it can really jostle you around on your little raft there.
That sounds pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
Looks like they also added a new kids land called Kitty Land. I'm guessing this was the old movie town or whatever.
Yeah, they probably just rebranded it and added a couple of things, like who knows.
They added a ride called Rock and Tug, which just that's no.
Interesting.
Not only can you not have that, you especially can't have that in Kitty Land.
That is, yeah, that's an unfortunate name. I think kind of like Tube Top, like they got to rethink some of the names of those. So,
yeah, really. In 2013, Parks operation was transferred from Hershend Family Entertainment back to CNL Lifestyle.
So nobody can figure out what they want to do with it. All right, cool.
But then on June 5th, 2015, the park was purchased by an investment team made up of Revesco Properties, Kroenke Sports Entertainment, and Second City Real Estate. under the name Premier Parks LLC. So they brought it back.
It brought back Premier Parks. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, Kroenke is pretty much, kind of the day-to-day runners of that as I am to understand it, because that's all kind of his area of town, because he's got the arena there. He's got some land development they're going to be doing. The city just recently approved a huge redevelopment plan for that area of Denver, which is great because it's pretty much just parking lots surrounded by, or surrounding an amusement park and an arena. So the idea is that they're going to move the park again. Kroenke has an idea of moving the park, kind of the eastern part of Denver, where he's got a soccer stadium. The Colorado Rapids in the MLS have their soccer stadium out there, and there's talk that that's where he's going to move it. No actual timeline on that. There's nothing's ever been formally announced, but as they start building high rises and all these kind of turning it into more of a live work area down there, I mean the park's going to have to go, because that's too good a real estate to be putting roller coasters on.
The current Elitch Gardens is considered to be a donut hole surrounded by the denser center of the city.
That's a great way of putting it. I like that. So it's, if you look at a top-down view of that area, it is really just kind of surrounded by everything else, all kinds of development and everything. Everything's just kind of worked its way around it. So, the football stadium, Mile High Stadium's right there as well. It's such an interesting area that it's almost kind of been underutilized, because you have things like Elitch Gardens there, because you have a sports arena and a stadium as well, and then it's just miles of parking lots to kind of serve all this. So it doesn't make any sense.
In late 2019, Elitch Gardens announced a delay of season operations for the first time in 130 years. There was a little thing called the COVID-19 pandemic. You might have heard about it, and it ruined a lot of stuff.
It really did. There were talks that the park wasn't going to reopen. I do remember that, but it's thankfully, I think with the deep pockets of Kroenke, that's pretty much the only reason it survived. So I think they'd only ever, I think even during like the wars and stuff, they never actually stopped operations. So it's I think it was the first time ever that they didn't have a summer where they were operating.
Yeah, this says the first time in 130 years. So
there you go.
The first time that a park's closed for an entire season. So they may have closed for a week or something here and there, but
yeah, that makes sense.
And then like you said, the River Mile is this new development, and like you said, no further details. And Elitch Gardens appears to be getting ready for the 2025 season. So
it'll definitely open. I keep hearing numbers of like it'll be 30 years before this development is ever finished. That's how big and grandiose it is. Like they're going to be doing so many stages of it. So who knows when they'll need to move the amusement park, but it'll probably be at some point during the next couple decades.
Wow. So yeah, that's kind of a rundown on Elitch Gardens. Some of the rides that we didn't talk about, we talked about the boomerang, the brain drain. Are you familiar with this one?
Brain drain. That might be one of the newer ones that I haven't had a chance to ride yet. Let me look at this guy.
It looks like it's just a big loop, just like one big circle.
The new loop, yeah. So this one is a full loop. So it's not the same as the Sidewinder. It's similar, except for this one, it's like one of the ones that the car stays in one big circle, and it just kind of. I did ride this one once. Was it called something else? Maybe not. But it's. I think the Sidewinder's a little more harrowing than this one, in my opinion. So the Sidewinder's a little older. I would say if you had to choose between the two, do the Sidewinder.
I feel like I've seen a similar ride to this called the Ring of Fire.
Oh, okay. It seems like a lot of these, especially the bigger kind of format ones, they have the same concept in different parks, just with different names. Is that fair to say?
I would say, yeah.
Okay.
Especially with things that don't have IP.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a good
obviously
point.
Disney's going to have all its IP and all its rides, but yeah, like, you know, Elitch Gardens or, you know, like a state fair or something, you might see the same rides with different names or even the same name sometimes.
Right, right. The one of the funny ones is there's a ride called the Dragon Wing, which is like a swing ride that takes you up and kind of just spins you around. If you look at it closely, though, this ride used to be called the Batwing when it was a Six Flags ride, and they really didn't change the ride at all, except that they removed all the Batman logos from it, and it is exactly the same ride. If you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, that's a Batman ride.
Oh yeah, those are clearly Batwings.
Yeah, exactly. So you still see some remnants of Six Flags here and there where they're just like, yeah, we're not gonna do anything but just slap a new name on that. So,
oh, I'm looking at a photo of a half pipe for the first time, and you're like on a skateboard.
yeah, it's meant to look like you're on a skateboard. It's very silly looking, but it's it'll really mess you up if you're not ready to spin around. So,
Oh, I see. Okay, so yeah, there's like two little bunches
mm-hmm.
on the front and the back of the skateboard, and I guess those spin on their own axis.
Right, and I think the whole thing spins as well, if I recall correctly.
The whole board?
I think so. It's been a while since I've ridden it, but if I recall correctly, you're basically on a giant spinning thing on a roller coaster. So,
damn, Jesus.
There are a couple. I guess you want to call them like suspension rides, where like you're bungeed in and it kind of swings you around. So there's one that kind of just shoots you straight up in the air. I would almost call it like actually, I don't know what I'd call it, but and then there's another one that kind of swings you as well, and that one's called the accelerator. So there's a couple of those which I refuse to get on because I'm so deathly afraid of heights. I won't do them.
Yeah, I see the Star Flyer and the Turn of the Century which both look like swing rides.
Yep. So those are the big ones, and then I want to say the accelerator you got to pay extra couple bucks to get on. Is one of those. The slingshot is the other one, and that one just literally shoots you straight up in the air. So,
okay, what the hell is the accelerator? I'm looking at it, and it looks like the St. Louis Arch.
It looks like the St. Louis Arch, but what it basically does is it puts you in. I don't even quite know how to like a rig, and it pulls you back, and then you're almost flying like Superman in this one as well, but you're swinging back and forth in this big long arch, and it's a giant swing basically, but you're so far up in the air. Yeah. Terrifying. Like it's even one of those things where it's just as fun to sit there and watch people be on it because they kind of zoom past you like super fast. So, it's 150 feet in the air. They pull you up and then they just kind of let you go. So
yeah, that's probably going to be a no for me, dog.
Yeah. It's been around for a while. That one I think came around when Six Flags had it. So,
and the slingshot, like that's a ride I won't do, just because I don't trust rubber bands that much. I've seen way too many videos where one side snaps and the other side just flings around like a snake or something. Like
yeah, that's I don't thrill seek enough to do anything like that. So
I've also seen all the videos of people passing out midair on those.
Yeah, that must tell you like that you're probably hitting some pretty hard G-forces if you're passing out while on that ride. So no thanks.
Yeah, I'm good. And then just like some more like family friendly rides. There's a Ferris wheel.
Yep.
Disaster Canyon looks like a
like your Rapids ride. Yeah, so
rapid ride. Yeah.
Yep. Great way to get wet when it's super hot out. So you definitely see a big line for that one when it's really toasty. So Denver's a pretty dry climate, so the water rides get really popular because people just need some kind of relief from the sun.
Do you get pretty wet on it?
Oh, you do. Yeah, the Disaster Canyon is definitely when you get wet on. I mean, it's not as bad as the log flume ride, which I think is called Shipwreck Falls, where you just the tidal wave kind of thing when you hit the end. So.
Grizzly River Rapids in Disneyland, it's like you want to sit in the middle because then you won't get that wet.
Oh, okay.
If you sit on the edges, the water comes in through the sides, and that's what gets you the most wet.
Jeez. I gotta feel like in Florida, I wouldn't want to ride a water ride because with that humidity, you probably never dry off throughout the day.
That's probably true.
Yeah, California, I'd probably risk it, but Denver, it's not a big deal. You're dry in 20 minutes because of 0% humidity out there.
Sure, yeah. There's Meow Wolf's Kaleidoscope. Now I'm very curious about this because I know Meow Wolf. I didn't go, but when I was in Vegas, I saw the Omega Mart there.
Yeah, so I've been to the Omega Mart in Vegas. They've got their thing in I believe it's Santa Fe, which I think was the first one, and Meow Wolf also has an outpost in Denver, fairly near the near Elitch Gardens. So I think this is a just kind of a nice collaboration between them, and it's. If I recall correctly, it's kind of a ride where it takes you kind of a slow, dark ride where it takes you through like kind of crazy scenes and things like that. So I think it's less of like a thrill ride and more of like a ooh and ah, look at these fancy things kind of ride. So
yeah, the photos they have are a fucking acid trip, man.
Yeah, very kooky looking. So, well, if you're ever in Vegas again, I highly recommend the Omega Mart because that is a trip, an absolute like that. I think we wandered around it for a couple hours, and it's a big kind of convenience stores, supermarket, but then like there's secret passages into, things in the back and kind of there's a sinister aspect to it that I won't give away for anybody who hasn't seen it, but definitely worth it. A little pricey, obviously, because everything in Vegas is pricey, but worth it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we wanted to. We just ran out of time.
Yeah. It's I've yet to go to the Meow Wolf installation in Denver, but my mother has been quite a few times and she loves it and speaks very highly of it. And I'm sure next time I'm in town, we didn't get to go last time we were there, but I'm sure she'll take me next time we're there.
Nice. So, I mean, just real quick, since we're kind of getting low on time here, I want to talk about the food. I know you said it's basically fair food, but like, what are some of your favorite places to eat there?
So they've changed it up quite a bit since I went as a kid, and the food has actually gotten quite a bit better, thankfully. The one thing that they did not have for a long, long time when I was younger is you could not drink at the park. Like there was no alcohol. Like you couldn't get a beer there. They have since made it so you can get a beer most places in the park, which is really great. But there is kind of a big. I don't know what you'd call it. It's kind of a Western themed area near the middle of the park. That's like kind of the biggest area for food. It's called the Rustlers Food Court. That would be a place to go if you're really not sure what you want because they've got everything there. So I'm always particular to the funnel cakes at Elitch Gardens. They've always been really good. I mean, you cannot go wrong with fried dough. But I do have a soft spot in my heart for the funnel cakes there. And they do have turkey legs still, which is great. So you can still get turkey legs at Elitch Gardens, which I always love walking around with a giant turkey leg in my hand. It just makes me feel cool. So when I do that, so I would say definitely grab a beer over there. You can get a lot of good kind of local craft beers while you're in the park. So Denver and Colorado are known for their beers, so you can get some good local stuff there. And
like Coors.
I mean, obviously. I am particular to Coors. In fact, I'm drinking one right now. So it's I like to have a little beer when I'm getting home from work. So, but yeah, I would say if you can get yourself a nice turkey leg, anything they have since really kind of pared down some of the more I guess I would call it like local fare. It's very much become a kind of your standard amusement park food these days. So, but
I'm seeing like Pepsi Oasis and Icy and Dippin' Dots. Right. Like a lot of.
Hey, nothing wrong with Dippin' Dots. I'll always eat some Dippin' Dots.
Oh no, I'm not bashing on them. I'm just saying it's there's a lot of corporate stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that I worry that's the way of most amusement parks these days. So, but yeah, I would say if you can get a craft beer, that's definitely going to be one of the more local things that you're going to be able to grab there.
Yeah, I'm looking at this JM Mulva Hills Pub. That looks pretty good.
They're also, I do like they have you can do green chili cheese fries there. That's another kind of local thing.
Oh,
so green chili is very much a southwestern, New Mexico, Colorado thing where they take like Hatch green chilies or Pueblo chilies, and then they make a stew out of it with pork and sometimes onions and tomatoes, but smother that on fries and you're doing all right. So I think they still have green chili there. Looks like it does.
Right here, green chili cheese smothered sidewinder fries. Also buffalo wings, which are like that's my go-to meal anytime I
love that. Yeah,
need something quick. Just got to get some buffalo wings.
The sidewinder fries are always fun too. I mean, that's one of my preferred methods of French fry because it's nice and thick, like a steak fry. So I like that.
Right on. Okay. We didn't really get too much into the water park.
It's a standard water park. I would say it's definitely check it out if you're there, but I wouldn't say we're not looking at like crazy amazing like super tall slides or anything like that. It's not the star of the show when you're going to Elitch Gardens, but it is there if it's a little hot out. So
it's not worth a part 2 then.
No. Whereas you're in a 10-minute part 2. So
all right, fair enough. Oh, all right. Well, I think that's about all I got for Elitch Gardens. Like I said, I've driven by it, and from the highway, it doesn't look enticing.
It's funny because it's a small park. I will say that it's not like on your level of like a Knott's Berry Farm or anything like that, but it's our charming little amusement park that we've had in Denver for centuries now. Definitely worth, if you like roller coasters, if you like amusement parks and you find yourself in Denver, definitely worth a visit. Especially just to say that you went, and definitely hit the mind eraser while you're there.
There you go. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Grant. This was fun.
Hey, pleasure being here. Thank you for having me, and let me know if you want to talk again after I finally make it to one of the Disney parks here.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime.
Great.
Before we go, you got anything you want to plug?
Well, obviously you can, if you are a hockey fan, and especially a Seattle Kraken fan, Signals from the Deep is our podcast. You can find it at seattlekraken.com/podcast, or pretty much anywhere where you download podcasts these days. We're on almost every platform, and if you don't see me on, if you don't see it on one, just let me know. I'm on Blue Sky these days. I've made the move over. I'm at voteforgrant.com. So if you want to yap at me there, that's where you can find me on the internet.
Right on. Well, thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
Your attention, please. This episode of Wild Mouse has concluded. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast player, and follow us on social media at Wild Mouse Podcast. Don't forget to visit the gift shop at wildmousepodcast.com. For exclusive bonus content, become a premium pass holder at patreon.com/wildmousepodcast. We hope you enjoyed your time and will visit us again soon. Thank you and good night.